I raised my daughter for over 20 years, and in the end, she only sided with them. On Mother's Day, all I got was a $6 red packet, but she handed her mother-in-law $60,000. What's more ridiculous? That huge money meant to suck up to her in-laws was charged to my credit card. Once I saw through her selfish, polished act, I sold the house without hesitation and cut my losses. You and your family. Goodbye and don't come back. My phone buzzed. The screen lit up. It was a message from Yemeng on WeChat. Mom, Happy Mother's Day. Below it there was a transfer. The red number was 6. The note said, Mom, spoil yourself a little. Buy yourself a small cake. My finger hovered over the receive button. I didn't move. $6 for a small cake. These days even the cheapest cake base costs more than that. I didn't reply. I didn't accept the transfer either. I put down my phone and kept picking through the greens in my hand. The green leaves in the sink floated up and down. My heart sank along with them. After dinner, I habitually opened my moments. A red dot was glowing on Yemeng's profile picture. I tapped on it. A huge screenshot of a transfer filled almost the whole screen. The amount was clearly 60,000. The recipient was my dearest mother-in-law. The caption read, Mom, 60,000 for a smile from you. Totally worth it. Happy Mother's Day, stay young forever. Below it rows of likes and comments. Meng Meng is such a dutiful daughter-in-law. Chenjun is so lucky to have married you. Your mother-in-law must be over the moon. Ye Meng replied to them all with cute and playful emojis. It's only right. It's only right. My mother-in-law treats me like her own daughter. As long as my mom is happy, no amount of money is too much. That word mom stabbed into my eyes like a needle. My hands started shaking. Not from anger. From the cold. It crept from my fingertips all the way to my heart. I slowly scrolled up. Through her moments. Last week, her mother-in-law said her shoulders hurt. She immediately ordered a massage chair worth over 3,000. Said it was imported. Last month, her mother-in-law mentioned how nice a gold bracelet looked on someone. The next day, she dragged Chenjun to the gold shop and bought one even thicker and shinier. In the photo, her mother-in-law's wrist looked dark and swollen against the gold. But she was grinning from ear to ear. At New Year's, she gave her mother-in-law a red envelope of 10,000. And gave me 1,000. Back then I asked her. She said, Mom, Chenjun has a lot of relatives on his side. He needs to save face. And I believed her. As a mom I don't need face. I just want him to be happy. But now those $6 and $60,000 are like 2 hard slaps. Right across my face. I turned off my phone. The screen went dark. Reflecting my blank face. The second hand on the living room clock ticked, ticked. Making this clear, sharp sound. Each tick pounding right on my heart. I stood up. Walked into the bedroom. Opened the cabinet in the far back. And pulled out a red, hardcover booklet from under a pile of old clothes. The name on the deed was mine. The address was the wedding house, where Yemeng and Chenjun live now. $2 million had drained me and his dad's life savings. We even had a loan on top of that. His dad passed away early. I raised him all by myself. Put him through college. When he said he wanted to get married, the groom's family couldn't come up with the money. I didn't complain. I just forked over that cash. I'm not a mom with big skills. I just wanted you to have a home of your own, so you wouldn't have to live under someone's thumb. He hugged me and cried back then, Mom, you're the best mom I could ever have. Now he's using my money to buy smiles for his best mom. So what about me? What am I? Just a free babysitter who only deserves a $6 cake. I took out my phone. Without a second thought, dialed a number. The phone rang and picked up quickly. Hello? Sister Wang. It's late. Anything wrong? It was Xiao Li, the agent who helped me rent a place before. Xiao Li. List a house for me, please. Sure thing. Which neighborhood? The old one from before? No. I looked at the address on the deed and read it out word by word. Guangjia Zunfu, Building 3 Unit 2, Room 1201. There was silence on the other end for a good 3 seconds. Xiao Li's voice was full of surprise. Sister Wang, isn't that your daughter's wedding house? Yeah. Such a nice place. Why do you want to sell it? I didn't explain. I just repeated my demand. List it right away. Market price is 2 million. Price it at 1.9 million. Urgent sale. Xiao Li was really efficient. The next morning, I got a link from him on my phone. My apartment was already up in the most visible spot on their agency's site. The title was in bold red letters, Owner Urgent Sale. Guangjiao Mansion, 3-bedroom, fully renovated. 100,000 below market price. Available for viewing anytime. The photos looked really nice. Bright living room. Cozy bedroom. And that big south-facing balcony that Ye Meng loved so much. He picked this layout because of that balcony. He said he'd fill the balcony with flowers. And put a rocking chair there. To sunbathe with me. Now there's actually a rocking chair on the balcony. But it's covered with his mother-in-law's dried fish. I stared at the photos expressionlessly. That part of my heart I thought had gone numb. Got cut again by a dull knife. I replied to him. Thanks for your hard work. Xiao Li quickly responded. Sister Wang, don't worry. With this price and location, there'll definitely be inquiries soon. I put down my phone. And started packing up the house. This old place was assigned by his work unit when we got married. We've lived here for decades. Everywhere is full of traces of life. I sorted out Ye Meng's stuff one by one from when he was little. His first drawing, a crooked sun and stick figures. His first certificate. Outstanding young pioneer. The first Mother's Day card he made for me. Cut and pasted from colored paper. It said, wishing Mom always beautiful. I'd always kept these things like treasures. Every time I looked at them before, my heart felt both tender and sore. Looking at them now, I just find it ironic. I got a big cardboard box. And put all those things inside. Sealed it with tape. And shoved it deep under the bed. Out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. After all that was done, the place felt a lot emptier. I felt it too. That spot in my heart that was always packed full. Suddenly emptied out. It was a relief but also this indescribable emptiness. The whole afternoon, my phone stayed quiet. Ye Meng didn't call, and didn't send any WeChat messages. Probably busy spending time with his so-called best mom, or maybe he figured that 6 yuan already covered all his filial piety. Until dusk, the real estate agent Xiao Li called. Sister Wang. A client saw the photos and info. And they're really interested. They want to see the place tomorrow morning. Does that work for you? I held the phone. And paused for a moment. It works. If the keys are here with me, I said calmly. I'll go open the door myself tomorrow. After hanging up, I watched the dusk setting in outside the window. And took a deep breath. What's meant to come will come. What you have to face you can't run from. The next day, I made sure to get up early. I wore a clean and neat outfit. In front of the mirror, I combed my hair carefully, smoothing out the grays nice and tidy. The person in the mirror was in her early 50s, with fine wrinkles at the corners of her eyes, but her eyes were calm. I arrived at Guangjiao Mansion half an hour early. Standing downstairs, I looked up at the 12th floor, the familiar window. I felt nothing inside. I opened the door. Stepped into this house where I had only stayed a few days when they first moved in. The place was spotless. But every corner had a scent I didn't recognize. On the shoe cabinet in the entryway sat Ye Meng and Chen Jun's wedding photo. They were smiling sweetly in the picture. Next to it was a family portrait. It showed Ye Meng, Chen Jun and his dad and mom, 4 people. All happy together. I wasn't in that photo. A man's jacket and a woman's shawl were tossed on the living room couch. On the coffee table, a fruit bowl held imported cherries and blueberries. I walked over, picked up a cherry. It was deep red, almost purple. Plump and fresh. Ye Meng knew I had high blood sugar. She never let me eat fruit that sweet. Turns out it wasn't about not letting me eat. She just thought I wasn't worthy of such expensive fruit. I put the cherry back in the bowl, took out my own rag, started wiping the dust off the furniture. Like I was erasing all traces that didn't belong to me. At exactly 10 o'clock, the doorbell rang. I opened the door. Standing outside were the agent Xiao Li, and a polite-looking middle-aged couple behind him. Sister Wang, this is Mr. Zhang and Ms. Li. I nodded. Stepped aside to let them in. Feel free to look around. The couple clearly liked the place. The layout, the lighting, the renovation, they praised everything. This place is really well maintained. Like new, Miss Lee said as she touched the kitchen counter. I replied calmly. Because the owner doesn't live here often. Just as they were almost done looking and starting to discuss price details with Xiao Li, my phone rang. It was a number I didn't recognize. I walked to the balcony and pressed the answer button. Hello? Is this Miss Wang Hui? A polite male voice. Yes. Hello. We're from the credit card center of X Bank. Just confirming something with you. Your daughter, Miss Ye Meng, applied for a high-limit supplementary card with us last month. The primary cardholder is linked to you. The billing address is your home. This month's bill is out now. Total charges came to $68,000. We see there's no payment record yet on this end. So we're calling to remind you. The number 68,000 hit me like a heavy hammer. Right in the chest. What did I buy? Let me check for you. They paused a moment. Mainly a $60,000 jewelry purchase, plus a few charges at high-end malls. And also, I couldn't listen anymore. Got it. I hung up. $60,000 jewelry. Must be that gold bracelet for his mother-in-law. No way it's just a gold bracelet. And that money was charged to my credit card. Spending my money to buy a $60,000 gift for his mom. Then turning around to give me $6. Careful. I leaned against the cold railing of the balcony. I suddenly felt like laughing. So I'm not just an ATM. I'm a complete sucker too. In the living room, Mr. Zhang and Miss Lee had already reached a deal with Xiao Li. Xiao Li came toward me with a big smile on his face. Sister Wang, Brother Zhang and them are serious about buying. Price is just like you said, 1,900,000. They want to sign the contract as soon as possible. I nodded. My voice came out a little hoarse. Okay. Right then. The password lock on the door let out a low beep, and then the door opened. Ye Meng and Chen Jun stood at the door with total shock on their faces. Their eyes swept over the group of people in the room, and finally landed on me. Ye Meng's face changed instantly. He rushed over. His voice was sharp. Mom? What are you doing? Who are these people? Why are you bringing them to my house? Ye Meng's voice was shrill and piercing. Like an awl stabbing into my eardrums. The agent Xiao Li and the couple were stunned. They just looked at each other. Chen Jun shut the door and walked over quickly. With annoyance and confusion on his face. Mom, what's going on here? I didn't pay them any attention. I just said calmly to Xiao Li. You guys, step outside for a minute. Let me handle the family stuff. Xiao Li looked a little uneasy, but still nodded. He led Mr. and Mrs. Zhang out, and even closed the door behind him. The second the door shut, Ye Meng started bombarding me with questions. Mom, what are you trying to do? Why are you bringing strangers into my house? This is my home. My home. Those two words. I looked at him and found it kind of ridiculous. Your home. I pulled the red property deed out of my pocket and slapped it on the coffee table. Open your eyes and take a good look. Whose name is on here? The deed landed with a thud. Ye Meng and Chen Jun both stared at it. He finally seemed to realize something. His voice trembling. You? What do you mean? What I mean is, I said word by word, crystal clear, this house is mine. I can bring whoever I want here. And I can sell it if I want. Sell the house? Ye Meng's voice shot up. Not believing what he just heard. Chen Jun panicked too. Stepping forward. Mom? Don't joke around. Why would you sell the house out of nowhere? Where are we supposed to live? Where you live is your problem to figure out, not mine. My voice was ice cold. From the moment I decided to sell this house, you two have nothing to do with it. Why? Ye Meng stormed up to me. Eyes red. You have to give me a reason. What did we do wrong? Why are you treating us like this? He acted like he was the one who got the short end. He even had the nerve to ask what he did wrong. I didn't say a word. I just pulled out my phone and unlocked the screen. First I opened that $6 transfer record. Held it right in front of him. Then I pulled up his moments. That screenshot of 60 grand transfer. That word mom. 60 grand for you to give me a smile. Worth it. I shoved that in his face too. You ask me why. You should ask yourself first. Why is that? Ye Ming's pupils suddenly shrank. The color visibly drained from her face. Turning pale, she opened her mouth, like she wanted to say something, but couldn't get a single word out. Chen Jun saw it too. His face showed awkwardness and discomfort. He even cleared his throat, trying to smooth things over. Mom, you've got it wrong. Meng Meng transferred you money. That's her being filial. Transferring to my mom. That's because my mom's been in a bad mood lately. Meng Meng wanted to cheer her up. Filial. I gave a cold laugh. A 60-cent filial gesture. Now that's precious. I gave his mom 60 grand. To cheer her up. What about me? It doesn't matter if I'm happy or not. Or is it? In your daughter's eyes, I'm only worth 60 cents of happiness. My voice wasn't loud, but every word was like a nail, driven into the silent living room. Ye Meng's lips were trembling. Tears welled up in her eyes. She finally found her voice, but it wasn't an apology. It was an excuse. Mom, how can you think like that? More or less money. It's all about the thought, isn't it? How can you measure my love for you with money? Mother-in-law, she's had it rough. She raised Chen Jun. Never had a good life. As her daughter-in-law, being extra good to her. Isn't that what I should do? You're my own mother. Do we even care about that between us? We don't care about that at all between us. That was said with such conviction. Righteousness. Lin ran. It was like I was the one being unreasonable and nitpicky. I had to laugh at how he twisted things around. What a we that was. I stood up, walked up to him, and looked him straight in the eyes. Let me ask you this. That $60,000 jewelry you bought for your mother-in-law, whose credit card did you use to pay for it? Ye Meng's eyes started darting around. I'm the primary cardholder under my name. Right. I kept pushing. The bill comes to my house, and the bank's collection calls come to me too. You spend my money to buy filial piety for your mother-in-law. Face buying filial piety. Then turn around and toss $6 at me, your own mom who pays off your bills. And you call that we shouldn't care about this stuff? My voice got louder and louder. The fire in my chest was about to explode. Chen Jun's face turned really ugly too. He tugged at Ye Meng's arm. Ye Meng was speechless from my questions. Her face went red and white. She looked at me, and finally her tears fell. But there wasn't a shred of guilt in those tears. Just the embarrassment and hurt of being found out. She suddenly pushed Chen Jun away, and screamed at me through tears. Fine, I spent your money. But so what? Growing up, you raised me. Wasn't that just what you were supposed to do? Isn't your money basically my money? Now that I'm married, I have to build my own family, and be filial to my in-laws. As my mom, shouldn't you be supporting me? So in her mind, everything I've done was just taken for granted. My money is her money, and her home is hers and Chen Jun, plus his mom's home. There was never a place for me in that home. Ye Meng saw that I was quiet, and thought she'd gotten through to me. She stepped forward, trying to grab my hand. Her tone softened too, with a sob in her voice. Mom, I know I was wrong. I shouldn't have not told you. Don't sell the house. Really? If we sell this house, where will Chen Jun and I live? How can you do this and be worthy of my dead father? If he saw you treating me like this, he wouldn't rest in peace. He brought up his dad, the man who threw away his life to save a drowning kid, the man who held my hand before he died, begging me to take care of his daughter. This was his trump card. It was also the last straw that broke me. My heart clenched hard, not from guilt, but from a rage that felt like sacrilege. I stared at Ye Meng's tear-streaked face. That face was full of calculation and acting. I spoke slowly, word by word. Don't you bring up your dad. My voice wasn't loud, but it cut Ye Meng's crying short. You don't deserve to. What did your dad teach you when he was alive? He taught you to be honest, to be grateful, to live with a clear conscience. If he knew the daughter he spoiled and loved grew up to spend her mom's hard-earned money to suck up to others, and then turns around and blames her own mom, he'd be the one dying with his eyes wide open. My eyes cut like knives, sweeping over his and Chen Jun's faces. Do you think this house is all I've given? I slid open the TV cabinet drawer in the living room, pulled out a car purchase contract, and slammed it on the table. You've been married 2 years. Chenjun said he needed a car for work, that it wasn't convenient. You guys were short on cash. Who gave you her last 100,000 in retirement money as a down payment? Chenjun's face turned beet red. I pointed at the brand new central AC on the wall. Last summer you said it was too hot, and your mother-in-law couldn't stand it. So your couple wanted central AC installed. 38,000. Didn't I pay for that too? Yemeng's lips started turning white, her body trembling a little. And there's more. You've been married for 3 years now. Your social security, your health insurance, 1,800 a month. Have you been carrying it under my small shop all along? With me paying the premiums? I thought my daughter would understand. Would have a heart for me. I thought she remembered all I did. And look how it turned out. I let out a laugh. The laughter was full of bitterness. In the end I raised a daughter who sides with outsiders, turning her back on me. I raised a daughter who treats me like a dumping ground, and her in-laws like a holy temple. That perfect daughter-in-law, Yemeng. You tell me, by doing this, I've let down your deceased parents. That last line, I nearly shouted it out. All the grievances pent up inside me, the anger, the disappointment, erupted all at once. Yemeng staggered back from my yelling, collapsing onto the sofa. She had probably never imagined that her always indulgent mother would remember every single debt so clearly. Chenjun was completely panicked. He looked at me, then at the shell-shocked Yemeng. He walked over, his tone softening. Mom, please don't be mad. We were wrong. We really were wrong. We'll pay you back. Right away. Please don't sell the house. This house is our home. If you sell it, we'll have nowhere to go. He reached for the property deed on the coffee table, but I was quick. I slammed my hand down on it. The veins on my hand bulged. Now you know you're wrong? Too late. From the moment you and your mother took that 60,000 yuan, buying filial piety with my money, it was already too late. From the moment my daughter transferred 6 yuan to me, and wished me a happy Mother's Day, it was even later. Yemeng suddenly sprang up from the sofa, like she'd gone crazy, rushing over to grab the deed. No, I won't agree. You can't sell it. The two of us, mother and daughter, started wrestling over the red booklet. Chen Jian was pacing around frantically, not knowing whether to intervene or stay out of it. In the chaos, Yemeng screamed, Chen Jian, call your mom, now. Have her come and judge for herself. Chen Jian snapped back to reality. He immediately pulled out his phone and made a call. He started crying into the phone, pouring his heart out. Mom, you gotta come over now. My mom's trying to sell the house we live in. She's gonna kick us out. A sharp female voice came through the phone. What? How dare she? Listening to the voice on the phone, I sneered inside. Good. Perfect timing. Let's settle everything today once and for all. Chen Jin's mom, Zhang Chunyu, showed up way faster than I expected. In about 20 minutes, the door was being pounded like crazy. Before anyone could open up, the keypad lock was already punched in. Zhang Chunyu stormed in like a gust of wind, with her quiet husband trailing behind. The moment she walked in, she saw Yimeng facing off with me. Her eyes were red, and her face was covered in tears. Zhang Chunyu's heart instantly ached for her. She pulled Yemeng into a tight hug. Oh my sweetie. What's wrong? Who bullied you? Tell me. She acted like Yemeng was her own daughter, and I was the evil stepmother. Yemeng arrived at the main heart of hardship. She's crying even harder now. Pointing at me, out of breath. Mom. My mom sold the house. You gotta help us get them out of here. Zhang Chunyi immediately turned her head. A pair of triangular eyes glared at me fiercely. Mother-in-law. What do you mean by that? Why can't we just talk it out? You really want to take it to the point of selling the house? His tone was full of accusation, like he was ready to put the blame on someone. I let go of the hand that was holding down the house registration booklet. Sit up straight. Looking at him coldly. I'm selling my own house. Do I need to explain it to you? Zhang Chunyi choked on her words. My face fell. That's not how you say it. This house is the wedding home for the kids. They've lived here for 3 years. This is their home. You're just going to sell it now, no questions asked. What will the neighbors think? What are your relatives and friends going to think? He started throwing labels at me, trying to force me to give in with public pressure. What do they think? What are you thinking? I don't care. What I care about is my daughter using my money. I got you a gold bracelet worth $60,000. And then he only gave me $6 to buy a cake. Mother-in-law from the other side. Does this bracelet not fit your wrist? I just laid out the ugliest thing right in front of everyone. Jang Chuni's face changed instantly. It feels like someone just slapped me. Alternating between blue and white, he instinctively touched his wrist. There's nothing there. Clearly it was a rushed arrival. Didn't bring it along. Chen Jun's dad coughed awkwardly on the side. Yemeng buried his face in Jang Chuni's arms. Can't look at me. After her brief panic, Jang Chuni, after all, is someone familiar with the ways of the underworld. Get yourself back together right away. He raised his voice, looking all righteous and indignant. I thought it was something serious. Isn't it just a little something from the kids to show respect to their elders? For you to go through all this trouble. Meng Meng is a filial kid. He feels bad for me. I feel for you too. He's spending money on me. That's what you're supposed to do. You're his biological mother. And I'm his mother-in-law. That's right. Besides, that $60,000 wasn't just thrown away. I took the bracelet, but I also gave Meng Meng a 10,000 red envelope in return. My family isn't unreasonable. Her words actually made me laugh. A 10,000 red envelope? Then what about the other 50,000? And the 8,000 spent at various malls on my credit card? Is your so-called reasonable family going to pay that back? Or is your obedient son going to do it? Jang Chuni's face completely dropped. She didn't expect I knew every last detail. Next to her, Chen Jun's head was practically buried in his chest. Seeing she couldn't win the argument, Jang Chuni started throwing a fit. She slapped her thigh, and her voice went up an octave. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to be so exact? We're family now. Family doesn't have two sets of accounts. Your money is Meng Meng's money. And Meng Meng's money is our family's money. You give money to your daughter, so she can manage her little family. What's wrong with that? She finally said what she really thought. This twisted way of thinking made the whole living room go silent. So in their eyes, everything I had was just an accessory to my daughter. And since my daughter married into their family, it's only natural to move everything from her side to theirs. I looked at Jang Chuni's face, red from anger, and the last shred of goodwill in my heart vanished. Fine. I nodded. Well said. Since we're family, then I'm not going to be part of this family today. I pulled out my phone and dialed the real estate agent Xiao Li, right in front of them. He picked up quickly. Xiao Li. Are Mr. Zhang and his people still downstairs? Yes, we are. Sister Wang, what's the plan? Bring them up. Tell them. If they can sign the intent agreement today and put down a deposit, I'll knock another 50,000 off the house. 1,850,000. Deal right now. As soon as I finished speaking, the whole living room went dead silent. Everyone looked like they got frozen mid-motion. They were all staring at me blankly. Ye Meng stopped crying. Chen Jun stopped begging. And Jang Chuni stopped her tantrum too. They all had the same expression on their faces. Shock and disbelief. When Xiao Li on the other end of the line snapped out of it, he was overjoyed. Okay, Sis Wang. Don't worry. I'll bring the clients up right away. His voice was so loud that even the others in the living room could hear it. That sound, like a switch, immediately set off this bomb. Are you insane? Ye Meng was the first to scream. She rushed over to grab my phone. Chen Jin snapped out of it too, lunging over to stop me. Jang Chuni just went straight for it, flailing at me with her claws out, cursing disrespectfully. You old hag. Are you trying to drive our family into the ground? Holding my phone, I said calmly to Xiao Li on the line. Xiao Li, you better bring 2 male coworkers from your shop up with you. Also tell the security guard at the gate, 1201 has a family dispute. He might need to come up and keep order. After that, I hung up. I coldly watched this chaotic family in front of me. The house is mine. Who I sell it to, and for how much is my choice. Is my freedom. If any of you try to lay a hand on me again, I'll call the cops right away, and report you for trespassing in my home, and assault. My calmness and determination clearly intimidated them. Zhang Chuni's movement froze mid-swing. Fear all over her face. Chenjun grabbed the hysterical Ye Meng. His face pale. Soon, the doorbell rang. The Chen family's expressions changed. They blocked the door, refusing to open it. I walked around them, went straight to the door, and opened it. Outside the door, Xiao Li was there with the couple, along with 2 young, strong male agents, and the security guard in uniform. They were all standing there in perfect rows. The scene totally stunned Chen Jun's family. I turned to Mr. Zhang and Ms. Li and said, Sorry you have to see this. You've seen the house. I've told you the price. It's 1,850,000. No more discounts. If you can make a decision right now, we'll sign the contract. And you pay the deposit. Mr. Zheng and Ms. Li exchanged a look. They were clearly freaked out by the vibe in the room too. But this price was way too tempting for them to pass up. After hesitating for a moment, Mr. Zhang nodded decisively. Aunt Wang, we'll take it at this price. We can sign the contract right now. And we can wire the deposit immediately too. No way. Zhang Chuni screamed at the top of her lungs. She was like a mother wolf protecting her food, blocking the center of the living room. This is my daughter-in-law's home. Nobody's buying it. I walked up to Zhang Chuni, looking her right in the eyes. If you keep causing trouble here, and messing with my sale of this house, delaying my business, I'll have my lawyer send you a cease and desist letter. Sue you for creating a disturbance. And claim compensation for my financial losses. The mention of a lawyer's letter clearly carried weight. Zhang Chuni's arrogance instantly deflated. She wasn't stupid. She knew if it really came to that, she wouldn't have a leg to stand on. I stopped paying them any attention. I just called out to Xiao Li. Xiao Li, bring the contract over. Xiao Li immediately handed over the prepared intent contract and a pen. Right in front of Chen Jun's family, I signed my name with a flourish on the coffee table. Mr. Zhang signed quickly too. With a ding from the mobile banking app, the 200,000 deposit hit my account. The deal was done. Everything was set in stone. Ye Meng stared at the signed contract, and at the deposit notification on my phone. Her last hope was crushed. Her legs gave out, and she collapsed to the floor. Chen Jin and Zhang Chuni also looked pale as death. I put away the contract in my phone, stood up, and said to Ye Meng, who was collapsed on the floor, I'm giving you 3 days. Within 3 days get all your stuff out of my house. 3 days later I'm coming to change the locks. After I said that, I didn't even look at them again. I nodded to Xiao Li and that couple, turned around and walked out of that suffocating house. Behind me was Ye Meng's heart-wrenching cries. Early the next morning, I got a frantic call from the agent Xiao Li. Sister Wang, something's wrong. You need to come over right now. Something happened to your house. My heart sank. I rushed over immediately. Before I even got upstairs, I saw a crowd gathered around the entrance of the building, pointing and whispering. I pushed my way in, looked up, and my heart almost stopped. Outside the balcony of Unit 1201, there was a huge white banner hanging. It had chilling words written in red paint. Heartless mother forces her own daughter to leave the wedding house unforgivable. The security guard was down below, sweating bullets, trying to disperse the onlookers. I ran upstairs, used my fingerprint to unlock the door, but the password had been changed so I couldn't get in. I was shaking with anger, pounding on the door. Open up. Ye Meng, Chen Jin, both of you get out here. There was no response from inside. Right then, my phone rang. It was Zhang Chuni calling. I answered, and her smug, cocky voice came through. Wang Hui, see that? I'm telling you, you can't sell this house. As long as my Meng Meng lives here. This is her home. If you dare to push us, we'll make sure you're ruined. I'm laughing at your old face. Where you're going to hide it after this? I was so furious I couldn't speak. You what? Zhang Chuni sneered. If you've got the guts, go ahead and call the cops. Even if the police come, what can they do? This is a family dispute. Even family judges can't settle family matters. Who dares to kick my son and daughter-in-law out of their own home? She finished. He just hung up triumphantly. I never expected they could be this shameless, using such dirty tricks to force me into submission. Xiao Li and the buyer, Mr. Zheng, caught up. Seeing this scene, their faces turned grim. Mr. Zhang frowned and said, Auntie Wang, what do we do now? The rest of his sentence about the house he didn't finish. But I understood. Who wants to buy a haunted house that made news like this? I took a deep breath, forcing myself to calm down. Getting angry wouldn't solve anything. I pulled out my phone, not to call the cops, but to call the hotline of a very famous local TV legal program. Hello? Is this the legal drama team? My voice was eerily calm. I have a news story here. I think you'll be very interested. A very typical family ethics story about mooching off parents, filial piety and a property dispute. Yeah. I'm the person involved. I'm at the scene right now. Guangzhou Zunfu, Building 3, Unit 2, Room 1211. You're welcome to come interview me anytime. After hanging up, I stared at that door, smirking to myself, Zhang Chuni. You wanted to blow this up, right? You wanted to ruin my reputation. Let's see who is really unforgivable. The TV reporters arrived faster than the police. The reporters carrying cameras and microphones, their eyes lit up as soon as they saw the banner hanging on the balcony. This was exactly the kind of news story they loved. Full of conflict, drama and explosions. I stood in front of the camera. Without flinching, I told the whole story from start to finish. From my mom transferring 6 yuan to the $6,000 gold bracelet, all the way to the password being changed on the door and that banner. Word for word, in front of all the neighbors and the cameras. Onlooking neighbors immediately changed their tune. Oh my God. That's just too heartless. Spending your mom's money to buy a $6,000 bracelet for your mother-in-law? What kind of daughter is that? And hanging a banner. Isn't that like the thief crying stop thief? Sister Wang is so pitiful. Raising such an ungrateful daughter. Public opinion instantly flipped. Inside the house, Ye Meng and Chen Jun must have heard the commotion outside too. The door was suddenly yanked open from the inside. Ye Meng came rushing out, hair all over the place. Her eyes were red and swollen. She looked like she had lost her mind. When she saw the camera, she froze for a second. Then she lunged forward, trying to grab the cameraman's equipment. Don't film. You're not allowed to film. The reporters and security guards immediately restrained her. Her face turned from red to white, then from white to green. With a loud wail, she burst into tears. But this time, no one felt sorry for her. Chen Jun and Zhang Juni also came out of the house. When they saw the scene, they were completely dumbfounded. Zhang Juni tried to pull the same old trick, starting to make a scene, but an experienced reporter shut her down with one sharp question. Mom, do you have any evidence for the claim on the banner that says, the wedding house was swallowed up by gold? From what we understand, this property has always been under Ms. Wang Hui's name, and it's her personal property. Which house are you referring to as the wedding house? Zhang Qini was left speechless, unable to say a single word. Chen Jin tried to drag his blind mother back inside, but was quickly surrounded by reporters. Mr. Chen, are you aware that your wife used your mother-in-law's credit card to spend 60,000 yuan on your mother? As a husband, why haven't you taken on the financial responsibility for the family? Instead, letting your mother-in-law pay for your expenses to take care of your own mother? Chen Jun's face turned a deep purple. Under the live camera feed, this whole farce became a public execution of his entire family. Xiaoli came up to me, lowering his voice, and said excitedly, Sister Wang, your move was brilliant. It's like pulling the rug right out from under them. I shook my head. It wasn't a brilliant move. It was a last resort. If she hadn't been backed into a corner, what mother would tear her own family's dirty laundry wide open like this, exposing it to everyone? I looked at that tightly shut door, feeling no joy in victory, only a hollow sense of exhaustion. The reporters finished their interview and left completely satisfied. The neighbors slowly drifted away. The hallway became quiet again. I walked over to the door and said to whoever was inside, I'm giving you one more day. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., I'm coming with a locksmith to replace the locks. Anything in the apartment that's not mine, I'll throw away like trash. That includes you. I thought getting the TV station involved would make them back off some. But I was still too naive. The next morning, I showed up at 12:01, right on time with the locksmith and 2 movers. The door was shut tight. No sound from inside. The banner was gone. Guess they got embarrassed and took it down themselves. I signaled the locksmith to step up. Right then, my phone rang. It was a number I didn't recognize. The area code was my hometown. My heart sank. I had a bad feeling about this. I picked up the phone. An old weak voice came through the line. It was my mom. Huya. My mom is almost 80 this year. She's been in bad health. She has a serious heart condition. I was afraid she'd worry about the house sale. So I kept it from her. Mom, why are you calling? Are you feeling sick? I asked, worried. I'm fine. My mom's voice was choked up. Huya, are you gonna sell Meng Meng's house? My heart sank like a stone. Did Meng Meng upset you again? Don't hold it against him. He's young and doesn't know any better. If you sell the house, where will he and Chen Jin live? How will his in-laws see him? How will he face anyone? Huya, listen to your mom. Peace in the family makes everything work. Don't keep fighting, okay? I'm begging you. My mom was sobbing on the other end. What did she tell you? My voice was shaking. She didn't say much. Just that she messed up. And begged me to talk to you. She was just confused for a moment. I closed my eyes. Took a deep breath. My chest felt like a rock was pressing down, making it hard to breathe. I spoke slowly, one word at a time. Mom, don't get involved in this. Focus on getting better. That's what matters most. This house, if you dare sell it. My mom's voice suddenly turned sharp. And then the call dropped. I called back. No one answered. I frantically called the neighbor back home. When she picked up, the neighbor lady sounded terrified. Wang Huiya, you need to come back now. Your mom just called you. And then her heart gave out. We called an ambulance. They're taking her to the county hospital. Boom. My mind went blank. My phone slipped out of my hand. It hit the ground. The screen shattered. I felt like all the strength had been drained from me. I slid down the wall and sat on the floor. The locksmith and the workers were scared. They came over. Sister Wang. Are you okay? I can't let anything happen to my mom. As for this house, these people, this isn't over. I sat in the hallway of the county hospital all night. The emergency room light went on and off. When dawn broke, the doctor walked out. He took off his mask. He looked exhausted. The patient is stable now. She's out of immediate danger. My heart finally dropped. My legs gave out, and I almost fell to my knees. My mom was moved to the ICU. Through the thick glass, I saw her with tubes in her. She was lying there quietly. So small. So fragile. I stayed at the hospital for a whole week. A week later, my mom's condition stabilized. She was moved to a regular ward. The first day she could talk, she grabbed my hand. Her hand was dry like tree bark. But she held tight. Hui, Mom's sorry. The old woman looked at me. Her cloudy eyes were full of guilt. I shouldn't have listened to that kid. And pushed you. I shook my head. And tucked her in. Mom, it's over. It's not over. She shook her head stubbornly. Tears fell down. I almost hurt you. I'm such a fool. That day he faked the episode. He wanted to use guilt to force me to give in. Then Yetmeng Yujiacuo's goading made him so angry and anxious. The fake episode turned into a real one. That was a close call. I almost died. My mom was staring at the ceiling, muttering to herself. Now I get it. That wasn't family. That was being a doormat. Yes. Don't be afraid. He turned his head, his hand gripping mine tightly. Go do what you want to do. Mom supports you. No one is irreplaceable in this world. Only you can be your own rock. I looked at my mom, seeing a clarity and determination in her eyes I'd never seen before, and nodded firmly. After coming back from my hometown, I didn't go back to Guangzhou. First I went to the bank, reported my maxed out credit card as lost and printed out the billing details. Then I took the property deed, the signed purchase contract, the TV station's news footage, and my mom's critical illness notice, and walked into the best law firm I could find in this city. I handed everything over to the lawyer. I only had one demand. Get those people out of my house. In the fastest, most legal, and most trouble-free way possible. 3 days later, I came back with my lawyer, 2 uniformed bailiffs and a moving truck, and stood at the door of Unit 1201 again. This time, I didn't knock. The bailiff stepped forward and showed the court order for eviction, with enforcement power. They used professional tools and opened the door in 30 seconds. Inside the apartment, Ye Meng, Chen Jian, and Jiang Quni were eating at the table. Seeing all of us, they were completely stunned. Jiang Quni snapped out of it first, threw down her chopsticks, and tried to start a fight. "Who the hell are you? This is breaking and entering." The bailiff stepped forward, expressionless, showing his badge and paperwork. "We're from the Court Enforcement Division. We're here to legally clear this property. Please pack your personal belongings immediately and leave." Chen Jian's face turned pale as death. Ye Meng stared at me, her face full of disbelief. He probably thought my mom was dying. I would give in and compromise. He didn't think I'd come back armed with the law. "Mom." He stood up, his voice trembled. How could you do this to me?" I looked at him. My heart was as still as dead water. "I gave you a chance. You've literally read me to death. And you've sealed your own fate." I looked away from him. I waved at the moving guys. "Let's go. Take everything that doesn't belong to me out. Dump it in the trash station downstairs." The workers started right away. Jiang Quni tried to stop them, but a court bailiff blocked her. Obstructing justice is grounds for arrest. That one line shut him up for good. Ye Meng was having a breakdown. He rushed in front of me, grabbed my arm, crying his heart out. "Mom, I was wrong. I was really wrong. Can you please forgive me just this once? I'm your daughter. Your only daughter. Are you really gonna be this cruel? Kicking me out? Leaving me to roam the streets?" I looked at him calmly, at a face I used to know so well, but now felt so strange. I gently pulled my hand free. "From the moment you used Grandma to threaten me, I no longer had a daughter." I turned around, walked toward the door. The sun hit my face. It felt warm. I didn't look back. Behind me I heard his desperate cries, the sound of things being moved, the sound of that home falling apart. But none of that mattered to me anymore. A month later, the house was transferred smoothly. The buyer, Mr. Zhang, and his wife took me out to dinner, thanking me for selling them such a great house. With the money, I gave my old rundown shop a full renovation. My life got back on track, peaceful and quiet. I never saw Ye Meng again. I heard that after they got kicked out, since they lost the house, Chen Jin lost his job because of that TV station mess too. Jiang Qunyu was bad-mouthing Ye Meng everywhere. The mother-in-law and daughter-in-law relationship was complete chaos. Later they got divorced. Ye Meng came to see me a few times. I didn't meet him. I just had my lawyer send him a bill. That credit card bill. With principal and interest, it came to $68,721.50. Not a penny less. I no longer had that contact named daughter in my phone. On Mother's Day, I closed the shop, went back to my hometown. Using my new oven, I baked a small cake for my mom. Not expensive, but really sweet. We sat on the balcony bathed in sunlight, 1 piece each, eating slowly. My mom smiled and said, "See, look how good life is." I nodded, staring at the clear blue sky outside the window. "Yeah, it really is." The end.